Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Bruce Durham. He's the Vice President for Exploration at BTU Metals. Bruce, good to speak with you today.
Yeah, good morning.
So Bruce, you've announced the start of drilling on the Pakwash North target area at your Dixie Halo project in Red Lake, Ontario. What's the current program focused on?
Well, good morning, and I'm actually in the core shack in Red Lake, and just to let viewers know what it's like up in Red Lake at this time of the year, it's -40 with the wind chill factor, and in weather terms, it doesn't matter whether that's Celsius or Fahrenheit because that's where the two meet. So it's a brisk morning here in Red Lake.
I hope you have the heaters on.
yeah, I'm thankful I'm not a driller out in the bush on a day like today. So the focus for Pakwash is really an area that's got no geological information. It's almost entirely overburden covered. Some of it's under the waters of Pakwash Lake itself. And so we're excited to get out there and see what our geophysics is telling us is under that lake. We've actually intersected copper zinc and copper zinc silver mineralization as well as gold mineralization on the project, and particularly out in that area. And so going out there and having new targets that show us from a geophysical point of view that there's a lot of sulfide there. It's just a matter of now of going out there and seeing whether or not there are copper values and zinc values with that target.
Hey, Bruce,
those targets. There are actually more than one target.
I mean, there are historic airborne geophysical surveys that have been done on the targets, and of course, you took it in your program last summer. You also took samples. What are they telling you so far?
Well, interestingly enough, there was no airborne survey over the target that we're drilling. There were indications on the end of some of the lines of historic geophysical surveys that said there might be something out there. And so we took it upon ourselves to go acquire the ground and then and do the geophysics. And we've outlined these targets that are, we think, maybe stratigraphically above the mineralization that we intersected at TNT. Which included copper, silver, zinc, and even some gold mineralization. So, and if you were to project where the LP fault extends to the southeast off the Great Bear ground, it could very well be that it goes off into this area. So there may be some very good gold potential in that part of the property as well.
And of course, Dixie Halo borders Great Bear Resources flagship Dixie project, and that's been sold to Kinross. So this must give you some confidence in what you have there.
Well, I tell people I commend the geological crew at Kinross for being able to go to their board and convince the board to put up $1.6 billion to take over a junior mining company that doesn't have 1 ounce of resources at this point in time. That must have been quite a battle, and I think it really tells you that this is still early days in the development of this part of the Red Lake Belt, and that people think very, very highly of the Great Bear project, and we've got I think our common boundary with Great Bear extends for something like 35 kilometers. So with folding and our property wrapping around theirs, I think there's still some really good potential on our ground. We've got a market cap of about $11 million at this point. I mean, the junior market has been a little bit tough, and we've probably spent $8 million on the project. So we've invested significantly over the last 3 years developing geological understanding of the project. And we've still got lots of targets to go and evaluate.
So what will the Maiden drill program focus on initially, Bruce?
Well, I wouldn't call it our Maiden drill program. We've had about 6 of them so far. We're up to we've drilled about 76 holes on the project so far. And this will be the first drilling that we've done over on that Pakwash area. And we hope that we'll drill probably 4 holes or something over in that area. If we don't find it, if we find more, we'll certainly stick around and drill more. But then we'll come back closer into the area along the boundary with Great Bear. We've still got a number of targets to go and evaluate, and a couple of them actually required being drill tested in the winter just because of swampy conditions and logistics. So we hope to get back there after our work out on the Pakwash property.
What sorts of time frame are we looking at before you can deliver more results?
Well, Pakwash is interesting. I mean, if we were to go out there and drill and we see significant visible mineralization, then we could come to the market in a matter of days with some significant results. And sadly, on the other side, and we're not the only ones like this, as everybody in the industry is struggling to get a turnaround of their assay results. I was talking to a company the other day who said they were just getting their grab samples from August, just getting the assay results right now. So Depending where you are in the country and how critical it is to get your assays back, it can be a pretty lengthy process. But I would say if we were in a real pinch and we saw something super exciting, we could probably have assays in about 6 weeks or 8 weeks, something like that.
Okay. And the sort of news flow then that investors should be looking out for from BTU?
Well, as I said, it could be visual results here in the next little while. And then beyond that, it would be moving the drill over to, hopefully over to along the boundary between Great Bear and ourselves and looking for more gold mineralization over in that part of the property. We think the extension of the LP fault, or branches of the LP fault could very easily end up on our side of the property boundary. And so we're still looking to get back in there and do some more work. We had been in there just before Christmas, and the ground conditions were such that we had to pull out of there, but we have some targets we want to get back in there and drill when the ground's nicely frozen.
That sounds like an exciting period ahead, Bruce, and I hope you'll keep us posted on any new developments. But thank you very much for the update today.
Anyway, anytime, and thanks very much for your time.
That's Bruce Durham. He's the Vice President for Exploration at BTU Metals.